Hello, One Piece fans. I know it's been a while since I've done a theory video. This is David Lynch, giving you my opinion of a party that we all have very warm and fuzzy thoughts on. Big Mom's Tea Party. So, without further ado, give you some predictions I have for Big Mom's Tea Party. And a couple of interesting thoughts that, since we don't know exactly what is going to happen, other than Luffy is going to attend her party. And it's going to be absolutely fabulous. It's going to be an interesting party, to say the least. Now, we already know some of the guests. We have Sanji, and we have Caesar Clown. So, Sanji is basically, if you think about it, think of it like Impel Down, in a way. Sanji is the ace of Impel Down, and you have Buggy the Clown as the who's not going to be there, but the Buggy the Clown of the group will basically be Caesar Clown. So he's going to be the interesting, funny guy there. Now, you could have other friends and allies be on Big Cake Island, and you just don't know who they're going to be at this point. I mean, the one theory video I saw, and I mean one theory video I saw, said Jin from Don Creek's fleet would be potentially on Big Cake Island. And this would make sense, because you did say that this person might show up later on in the series, and I think this would be one place where you could see it. Now, another person you might see returning is Lola. Lola, as you know, many people have theorized that she is one of Big Mom's daughters. And she even hinted that her mom is a big and powerful figure in the New World, along with the other zombie minion crew members of her little ship. So you might see her, you might not. Who knows? It'll be interesting. Jewelry Bonnie is another person you may or may not see on this little ship arc. You have confirmed a Capone Beige is going to be there, and he's going to be interesting. You know Sanji's father is going to be there. Maybe some of his brothers. Maybe. You don't know. But one would suspect. Now, here's one guarantee that people have been saying. At some point, Jinbei will make another appearance. He had this little area where Jinbei had a cover story, but really didn't do much with that cover story because it's not been in the anime. It's been in the manga, but cover stories don't necessarily have to be canon. They could just be little interesting, little fun stories that you see happen. So we'll see if that makes a big difference. Now, honestly, I think Jinbei will be at Big Mom's party. It's probably the last thing that he has to do to leave Big Mom's employ, because as you're aware, he's an ally of Big Mom's, and one would assume he would attend her wedding of one of her daughters, as he would say, because, I mean, it's Jinbei is all about obligations, and he would feel obligated to at least attend this one last party along with the rest of the Fishman crew, which Luffy's not met the other members of the Fishman crew that belong, other than Hatchin, which were part of the Arlong sect, but he hasn't met the other members, the ones who stayed with Jinbei, and I think this would be an interesting time for them to make their appearance as guys who might straw hat Luffy in this area. Now, as far as anyone else showing up that you've seen before, I doubt any of Luffy's recent allies would show up. I doubt a warlord is going to show up. You might see a couple of random people from his past. Uh, who knows? Like, I can say without a shred of doubt, no Bellamy. Um, Absolutely no Buggy. I could see Don Krieg. I could. I could see Captain Kuro. I could see. Definitely no Enel. None of the Shandarans. Maybe Foxy might make another appearance. As Foxy, he always comes up in a comedic situation. And they might need another comedian person for this little arc. I mean, they did a special with him recently, so who knows? And who knows if that's considered canon or not? Maybe. So we'll see who could potentially show up. That you might even see some of the former Shibukai, like Gecko Moria, who has a bitter hatred towards Kaido. You might see Crocodile. You might see anyone. I'm trying to think of anyone else that. I don't think you're going to see anyone else from the worst generation, because I think they've all basically done their things. They're either with Kaido, or you have Capone Beige with Big Mom. Basically, Jewelry Bonnie might be the only mystery as far as where she is and who she's with. Certainly isn't going to be Blackbeard, that's for sure. I don't think she likes Blackbeard at all. I can't see any members of Whitebeard's former fleets, but you might see some of his former allies. Maybe. Maybe some of them feel that Marco can't do the job. They're not too thrilled with Shanks and might have allied with Big Mom. Who knows? That could be something that could happen. Some of them respect Luffy for what he did for Whitebeard, so there's a potential group of pirates that make an appearance in the past, from the past. So I mean, those are all like little possibilities here and there. As far as people who might be at Big Mom's party. Now, the infiltration party, we already know Luffy's going, and Peckham's is going to be basically taking him. Guaranteed. Basically, it's a guaranteed lock at this point. The only question is, will someone else go with Straw Hat Luffy and Peckham's? Now, if you look at it, this is an infiltration mission. So if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to have someone who's very good at kind of getting away from everything. So I can say right off the bat, no Usopp, no Chopper. I can't see Nami going. No one from Law's crew. Except maybe Trafalgar Law. He's someone I could see go just to make sure Luffy doesn't screw up and get Big Mom pissed off at him, because he's got a lot riding on this. Since we don't need two Yonkos breathing down on them. Raizo would be someone that I could see joining them in this, because I mean, he's a ninja. He would be incredibly useful in this mission. Incredibly useful. No Frankie. Robin, to me, would be a person I could see go with them. She's very good at hiding, very good at kind of dealing that sort of situation, but no. You could bring Zoro around, but I think it would be ideal to keep Zoro there in case Jack shows up. So I really wouldn't want to. Now, here's the other part of it. Are the Straw Hats all going to stay on Zoe and just wait for Luffy to come back? Or are they going to go off and start the next leg of their adventure, which is going to be Wano? Or maybe Luffy might say something like, or Trafalgar Law might make a declaration that Luffy has so many days to has like a day or two to do what he needs to do, and then he's going to bring the fleet on Big Mom to try to help us get the escape plan or something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities because, I mean, how's the next part of it is how is Luffy gonna escape? I mean, to me, if Luffy's going on this island, he's either gonna need someone from the inside helping him escape, because Luffy won't not have a ship. He will not have a ship. So either it's going to be a rescue mission afterwards to get them, or someone is going to help get Luffy out. And the person that I think would be the most logical would be Jinbei and the Fishman, along with Sanji and Caesar, like all leaving, because this is an infiltration mission. Now, we could get into a situation where Sanji's abducted, they have to go after Germa 66 afterwards. Maybe there's a massive fight that breaks out between Germa 66 and Big Mom, and Luffy basically is caught in the middle trying to escape and try to get off of that island, because who knows if this is a hidden plan by Capone to basically use these two guys that are strong enough against each other to take each other down. Which, to me, would be incredibly devious and intelligent. And honestly, I could see Capone doing that. And I would love to see Capone be a member of I don't really want to see him just be a Big Mom lackey. I think he's a very interesting guy. I want to see him continue on in this series as an enemy of Luffy. I want to see him join Blackbeard's fleet. I really do. Personally, I want to see him join Blackbeard. Kaido would not make sense for him, but Blackbeard with Capone, I think would be interesting. But we'll see what happens, ultimately. You never know. We might have a marine attack. We might have a attack of Cypher Pole Zero. We might have a revolutionary attack. We could have the bomb go off and the two sides go at it, and it's just a lot of fun possibilities could happen. A lot of very fun possibilities. And this will be interesting to see how long the arc is, because this is, I mean, I pretty much, Zoe is done, unless they're going to have little side views of something going on with Zoe, and then Big Cake Island. That's, to me, what I can see. So you might have some character development of certain characters on, like I said, with Manx on, so you never know. So we'll see, but I think a lot depends on who is going to be at the tea party. It can't just be Big Mom. It's going to be a bunch of her allies there, and it's going to be Germa 66. And probably a lot of other major underworld dealers will be there, potential enemies of Straw Hat. And we'll see how many people, who betrays who attacks who. To me, I cannot see Luffy escaping this island unless he gets help. And it can't just be help from Sanji and Caesar. It's gonna have to be someone from Big Mom's forces helping him out. Now, Peckham's is taking him. He probably feels obligated to go, but honestly, if I was Capone, I'd basically look and say, Mom, now, Peckham's might end up getting thrown in jail. Actually, the whole Peckham's thing is interesting in itself. Because how is Big Mom going to treat Peckham's? Is she going to basically discard him because he was kind to the Straw Hats on Zoe? Will she basically show loyalty to him? It all depends on how you feel Big Mom's character is. Now, she was very angry about not getting what she wants. Now, Caesar is what she wanted. Sanji is apparently something else she wants as well. So, because of the wedding. Now, we could 100% see that this whole situation with Sanji is something that would make Big Mom pissed. The question is it pissed off enough where she basically throws him in jail and says, I'm gonna, just throw him in jail, where Peckham's basically is forced to leave Big Mom's service? Is it a situation where she basically says, I don't give a crap, and those two just basically fight against each other, which Big Mom tries to force them to stop, and we'll see. Like, there's inner resentment. A lot of it just depends on what goes on with Peckham's, because I think Peckham's future is incredibly up in the air, especially if Big Mom finds out that Luffy's there, because there's only one way Luffy's gonna get on that island: with Peckham's help. I think Capone Bege's the type that basically say, Mom, there's been no ships nearby, we've not even seen a raft. He's a devil fruit user. How can he get there? Either he got help from Peckham's, who just came back from Zoe, which is the most logical assumption one would make. And I mean incredibly, because Luffy's going to get caught somehow in this arc being there. He's not going to escape someone's notice. He's going to be in front of Big Mom at some point. That's a 100% guarantee he will stand before Big Mom. Now, it would be interesting is if that is when the present goes off and he escapes. So, we'll see. But, honestly, don't want to see Luffy fight Big Mom quite yet. I want him to escape with his crew members, and Big Mom basically using this as, I'm going to get you, Straw Hat. I want to see that. and I want this, and I'd love to see Germa 66 and Big Mom kind of seal their alliance with each other because they're so pissed off at Straw Hat leaving and taking some of their allies. Like, I think the Fishmen will be one of them. Caesar will be a member there. Sanji, and who knows? Maybe, like I said, maybe Raizo, maybe Law might show up with Luffy. Maybe you might see a couple of other people from the past, like Lola or Jin or Krieg or Kuro. Several people from Luffy's past make an appearance. Because it's not like they don't exist. I mean, they're part of the story. It's just you haven't seen them for years. So you never know. Maybe Foxy. Who knows? Just a interesting situation as far as who might be at Big Mom's Island and how is Luffy going to escape. Or like I said, I could see Gecko Moria. I could see Crocodile. Like, they're certainly not strong enough, and I'm sure those guys would be in a situation where they would work under Yonko to take out some other members of, the Yonkos, so we'll see. And it would not put it past me if there was some betrayal. So, like I said, this is all fascinating, all potentially things that could happen. Or, like I said before, it could just be Luffy escapes because Germa 66 and Big Mom go to war with each other. And they're both weakened to the point where they're not in shape to fight anymore. And that might, by default, take Big Mom down a notch, where both of them are at points where they both want to go after Straw Hat, and get defeated by Kaido, because they've been weakened too much by their war against each other, or by Blackbeard down the road, or get finished off and arrested by the Navy. Who knows? I could see the Navy make an appearance. It's just a matter of what happens. You might even see, what would be a really amazing situation is if you find out that Sanji's dad happens to be working as a member of the government, and Cypher Pool Zero happen to be bodyguards and agents of the world government, where you kind of make a case and see that even though this is just a fun theory that you never know could happen, very fun, this would be a Yonko alliance as a Shibukai. And considering that you just lost 2 Shibukai, it would not be the worst thing in the world for the world government to make an alliance with like I said, a Yonko, because you have Teach, who betrayed them, Shanks, who probably the most powerful of the group right now, and you have Kaido, who just can't die, apparently. So of the only person of the Yonko that, to me, would be someone that the world government would want to work with would probably be Big Mom. Because you've never seen any hostile act between Big Mom and the Navy or heard about it. Basically, you haven't really heard Big Mom doing anything with anyone. Like, you hear bad things, but I mean, her working behind the scenes with the government would be a very interesting thing, especially if it's only the cipher pulls. And I mean only the cipher pulls. Not really the Navy, because the Navy isn't really the government, they're just the face of the government. But the behind the scenes people, the power players in the government, where you're talking about the cipher pulls and the chorus A, I could see that happening. And just have an understanding that they are not to touch Big Mom, but she's not a Shibukai. So, we'll see. And those are some theories. Signing off.